following portion of the Arizona Daily Mix is sponsored on behalf of Voga Italia and Innovation Brands Incorporated by A1 Broadcast.
Well, with the holiday season fast approaching, it's time to get ready to celebrate. I recently talked with some wine experts about how Prosecco is the perfect wine for all of your holiday needs, from entertaining to gifting. Good morning. I'm excited to talk to you both. I want to start out with the most basic definition for the uninitiated. Filippo, what is Prosecco and are there different styles?
Good morning. Yes, absolutely. Well, there's the classic or white Prosecco, which most people know, and then there's the rosé Prosecco, which it was introduced and made legal by the Italian authorities in 2020. And then there's still or bubble-free, which was very rare until now outside of Italy. All are, regardless of style, they're all made from the Glera grapes coming from the Prosecco growing region. For those of you who want to know where the Prosecco growing region, it's in the Veneto, kind of between the famous romantic cities of Romeo and Juliet of Verona and the other romantic city of Venezia. So smack in the middle there, throughout the hills of Treviso, grows the Glera grape. And through the DOCs of Asolo and Conegliano, we have where the grapes are grown. And Prosecco can only be called Prosecco if it comes from that region. It must be a minimum of 85% of the Glera grape. And Christine is going to explain a little bit of that, of the individual Proseccos. But really more important is when you're buying Prosecco, look for that DOC label on the back. At the top of the bottle on the neck, you'll see a label that says DOC. In Italian, it's called Denominazione d'Origine Controllata, but easy to see, DOC. Basically, it certifies and authenticates that we meet the strict quality standards of the Prosecco growing region, as all of our Voga Prosecco wines you see here.
I had no idea the romantic history of the wine and that Romeo and Juliet were from that region. That's so interesting. You mentioned that each grape or each style tastes a little bit different. Christine, can you talk about that?
I sure can. So this is a brut or a dry Prosecco. So you'll taste lemons and melons and stone fruits and beautiful acidity. It's very classic Prosecco. The rosé, you additionally get cherries and berries and beautiful, beautiful floral notes and lots of freshness. And the Voga Prosecco still, this is the one with no bubbles, is a completely new white wine sensation for most people. As Filippo mentioned, it's made out of the Glera grape. So you'll taste lemon and cashew and kiwi and honeysuckle. It has a creamy base and a high-toned acidity, and it's fabulous with food.
Well, speaking of Prosecco and food, I see a beautiful table set forth before you. Can you tell me, Filippo, how do you think about pairing Prosecco with food?
Well, Prosecco really takes the thought process out of it altogether. Prosecco is super food friendly. As a matter of fact, it goes with all varieties of food, traditionally having it with the antipasti as well, the appetizer, but you can enjoy it through the main course and even to desserts and sweets. As a matter of fact, when I host parties, I kind of have platters around that people can graze and enjoy. And Prosecco takes the complication out of it of trying to say, oh, I have to pair this specific wine with this specific food. It just makes it very fun and just approachable and easy. The wines are so versatile, you can pair them with almost anything. I think about the holiday season coming up. The rosé is going to pair perfectly with a turkey. In my instance, it's my go-to brunch wine, Prosecco. I love the Prosecco bubbles, or with the still to enjoy with eggs. So it's sort of our go-to brunch wine, perfect with brunch, like this brunchyterie board you see in front of us. So really enjoy with the smoked salmon as well as the eggs.
Well, let's go a little bit later in the day when it's cocktail hour. Christine, would you ever use Prosecco in a cocktail?
I do. I like to set up Prosecco bars for my parties, which are almost as fun as Filippo's parties. So with all three different Voga Italia Proseccos, juices and liqueurs and beautiful garnishes, and let people mix. For people who want to make cocktails, of course, they can make a spritz, they can make a mimosa. The Negroni Sbagliato is one of my favorite, which is a Negroni, but instead of gin, you use Prosecco, so it lightens the alcohol content. It makes it a little lighter. And speaking of lighter, the Voga Prosecco Still, the one with no bubbles, that only has 95 calories per 5-ounce glass. So that's another nice lighter option for people during the holidays.
Before we let you go, what about a last-minute party? It pops up at the spur of the moment. Suggestions?
Oh, that's perfect for me. I just keep a case of each type on hand at all times. I'm always party ready. I have 3 bottles of each in the fridge, chilled at all times. Kind of a tip from us that work in the industry. Many of the retailers will give you discounts when you buy a full case. So if you're hosting a festive gathering or even need a last-minute gift, the Prosecco is your go-to wine for the holidays. You can see from our perfectly beautiful package, and also the quality is so affordable for your pocket. I call it an affordable luxury. Everyone will love the Proseccos as much as your guests will.
Thank you. Where can we go for more info?
Visit us at vogaitalia.com, or the socials are at Voga Italia.
Grazie, Christine, Filippo. Thank you so much.
Grazie,
Prego.
Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much for having us.
It was a pleasure.
The preceding portion of the Arizona Daily Mix was sponsored on behalf of Voga Italia and Innovation Brands Incorporated by A1 Broadcast.